That's a secret to being able to really scale, I think, is just having a high performing website that has a lot of rich and dynamic content, and one that's more than just like the basic 3-page website.
You're listening to Stories from the Top, an inside guide to better business development. We are back with Kirk Brown, the founder of Kirk's Lawn Care and Dynamic Celebration Lighting. We talked a little bit about Kirk's history and how he got to where he is in our first episode. Today, we're going to cover creating a B2B marketing strategy that converts. Kirk has done a lot of his own marketing. He's done a lot of different strategies, and we're going to hear a little bit about what exactly he does to achieve the success he has. So to start out, can you kind of just give us your own personal philosophy on marketing?
Gosh, I mean, us being in the local sector, we're all about trying to connect with people where they're at. So, I mean, again, no matter what town they are in, no matter what time it is, no matter how they like to communicate, our philosophy is just being accessible and making it easy for them to learn about our services and purchase our services and inquire about our services, all of those things. It's about convenience for the client.
What are some of the different avenues that you're using for marketing across physical and digital?
Yeah. So again, as far as our website, SEO, extremely important to our success of, I feel like, marketing over the years. We have a very narrow service area compared to some landscapers. However, we perform and are very visible in that narrow service area. So we have very, very good reach within that area. So again, if you Google our services or landscapers near me or lawn mowing services in any town we service, will be the first to third position in Google in every city, organically. We do have paid per click ads on Google. We do some social media ads, but again, we're very digital heavy. As far as print, we are yard signs, but I think that's really about it. And our vehicles are all signed, but yeah, we very much focus our attention in digital space.
You guys don't get into the whole like mailers or the Valpak type of stuff?
We do not, no.
Did you ever try them? Or?
We never really tried them, no. Never had a need, so.
So in the SEO game, I know you taught yourself that. What has been the factor of your success in that? Because like I said, I went through your site. You guys have done an amazing job with it, and it was all you. Like how did you go about creating that strategy and learning how to do all that?
Yeah, learning how to do it. I think it was just reading a lot of articles, reading a lot of books, just trial and error. Again, that's all. I've been doing it since I had a business or a website for 21 years. So I've been had plenty of time to try things out. I would say the two biggest things to help with SEO is having dedicated landing pages for each town you service. That shouldn't be much of a secret, but again, if you have a dedicated landing page for each town you service, you're more than likely going to rank better for that town. And I would say the second thing is constantly updating your site. I mean, if you don't update your site like regularly, it's going to look abandoned to all the robots that crawl the website. So again, usually every winter when I have more time, we revise some of the content. We add additional cities that we service. We update some photos. Again, almost every single page is touched to some degree, whether that's just updating the copyright year or whether that's, changing a couple photos here and there. Really updating the website is something that is a big time investment of mine, but it does pay off huge dividends if you just regularly update it.
Mm-hmm. And with your market of the B2C, you're basically targeting homeowners, and I guess with Dynamic Celebration going into some more commercial type of stuff. But for the residential side of things, do you always reach out to new people when you are doing the ad campaign type of stuff, or do you try to recapture people who might have visited the site and didn't convert?
Yeah, so we have a estimate request form on our website. It's super detailed, but it's also super easy. So it has conditional logic. So as you're completing the form, it only asks pertinent questions to what would apply to the services that you requested. And then after anyone completes that form, that estimate request form, again, it notifies us. We send out a quote. However, all of that information is captured. So again, we do send some emails out to people who have requested our services before, usually maybe 3 or 4 times a year. We have a huge database of contacts that we remarket to.
And what does your sales process look like? So when someone contacts you, how quickly do you get them on the phone with someone or get someone out to their site?
Yeah, so when they fill out our form, they'll get an automated text message and email within a couple minutes, just confirming that we got it. It'll also show them, I guess, the contact information that they entered. So if they entered in their phone number wrong or they entered in their email wrong, there's a link they can actually go in and edit their details on the estimate request form, so they can correct any mistakes that they made. And then once it basically will tell them when they expect to hear from us. My goal is to turn around an estimate typically on most services within 2 to 3 business days, if not sooner. Sometimes I can turn them around in 20 minutes. The technology that we use, a lot of our services, we don't have to visit on site to do a consultation. We use a lot of technologies that use low-flying aerial photography, where we can actually get very accurate measurements of mulch beds and lawn area and different parts of the property that we can provide quotes very quickly to a very high level degree of accuracy.
So is that just like a Google Earth type of thing, or like satellite images, or is there like a specialized third-party service?
So we use low-flying aerial photography, which is literally planes flying over people's houses using a high-resolution camera. So it's a much more detailed and higher resolution image than what Google can provide. Also, all the imagery we get, they fly the planes in the winter when all the foliage is off the trees, so you can actually see through the canopy and see anything below. And then you also can get angled shots, so you can get like a northwest-south view of the house at an angle. So again, you can't get all of that with Google. So then we can just trace all the mulch beds, trace the lawn areas, get square footage, and then send out a lot of our quotes that way.
Is that the same tech that roofers use to do estimates?
Yep.
Have you had any campaigns that have not been winners that you'd have to cut?
Usually when the campaigns that aren't winners, it usually revolves around social media. Like Facebook, Instagram, those are like hit or miss. So there's some services that, if it's a very wide audience or like a lot of people need them, sometimes you can use social media like Facebook or Instagram for it. If it's like a very narrow, like hardscaping or drainage, I mean, you really don't search for that unless you have the issue or you really need something. It's not like an everyday, everybody has to have it. So those typically don't perform all that well on social media. So,
and when you're talking about performing, you're talking about like direct sales or conversions, leads, not just brand awareness.
Yeah. So I think trying to unlock the social media code is sometimes a little different or difficult when it comes to the services that we offer. So some of them are wins and some of them are not. Holiday lighting typically is our best one with social media, just because it's such a visual thing, and holiday lights just evoke emotion. Everyone thinks of nostalgia of their childhood. So I mean, again, those typically perform the best for us on social media. But a lot of landscaping services, it's not our place for ads.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of emotion in messaging and marketing, what is your strategy to differentiate your messaging from the tons of other landscape and lawn care people that are out there?
Yeah, so again, our strategy is, a very tech-savvy approach. We try and push that. We try and sell them on how we are different. So we always try and sell ourselves on our differences in our service rather than our pricing. We background and drug screen all employees. All of our employees are uniformed and have an ID badge. All of our trucks are clean and decaled. We get back to people very quickly. We have this tech savvy process where we can quote a lot of things over online, and they can approve quotes online. We do automatic credit card payments. So again, just making things easy to fit into people's busy and fast-paced lifestyle is kind of how we market ourselves. And then again, we're also getting a lot more into video. On our website, we're trying to add a lot more video throughout. So just to kind of feel that personal connection, because it's like a line you gotta like kind of balance. Like if you're too tech savvy and you never have that human interaction or you never can connect with the company, then that can hurt you, that strategy. But you want to be, efficient and efficient within your process, that you don't lose that personal touch. So it's like, I feel like technology can like Amazon. You can never find a person. I don't know you can't get a hold of anybody there. So it's like, there's no personal connection to that company. Nobody knows, who they are. So I don't want to lose that personal touch, but I still want to have a lot of the pros of having that technology company. So it's a fine line to balance. That makes sense.
I have a question about, I know with like lawn mowing specifically, you want to kind of line up a bunch of yards in the same area. Do you tailor your marketing to try to, we want to go after this neighborhood or this?
We have such a tight service area that, and again, we perform so well online that never, we do try in like certain segments, we do try and kind of bundle people to closer together, but we don't target specific, like, or run campaigns for one city or another just because we're trying to fill that city. So yeah, we've been pretty lucky. We have very tight route density, but yes, you're right. Lawn mowing, especially, because it isn't the highest of profitable services, the route density is kind of extremely important to be able to maintain your margins in that service.
Mm-hmm. Was there any big like revelations you had in marketing as you were going from the growth of your business? Anything that like really unlocked the doors to growth?
I think, again, that having a solid website is really, I mean, I can't shout from the rooftops enough about having a solid website. A lot of people just don't see, or a lot of business owners and a lot of landscapers just don't see the value in it, but I don't know how you cannot have one in today's day and age, especially a high performing one. Yeah, that's the secret to being able to really scale, I think, is just having a high performing website that has a lot of rich and dynamic content, and one that's more than just like the basic 3-page website. Like, you got to have like a meet our team, you got to have like, a press page, you got to have a blog, you got to have all of these things that really make a website like what it should be, where you can click through it for 10-15 minutes if you want to and you haven't seen all the pages. So
Yeah, staying with the times is super important. One of our clients, he's been in business for a long time, he does a great job, he doesn't have a website. We've been telling him, it's like, you got to at least have something, just so like you have a flag online somewhere, because it's like it's crazy. And then there's so many people have those just HTML websites still that it's like little animated GIF in the corner, music plays when you load it up. It's like, that's where people go to find stuff now.
Yeah.
Speaking to that, how do you guys go about keeping up with the times with your messaging and marketing as like newer, younger people are buying homes and coming into your prospect territory? Do you guys have any active strategies to keep up with changing generations of
that? Was actually one of another, I don't know if it was intentional, but it kind of worked out the way that I wanted it to. So our tech savvy approach to land care and kind of marketing ourselves has naturally made our company and our services gravitate towards first-time home buyers, or middle-aged or younger clientele. The traditional landscaping industry, a lot of most companies, their clientele are usually on the older side or retired or senior citizens, and I can say maybe that makes up maybe less than 5% of our clientele is that age group. The primary age range is probably 50 and under for our clients. And I think that tech savvy approach kind of, and that the way we market ourselves kind of people in that age range feel more comfortable and want to reach out to us. It's kind of like every time a new iPhone comes out, everybody wants the latest and greatest technology. And, with us being a tech savvy landscaping company and doing things that no other landscaping company is doing in our area, that's kind of like that thing that people just want, so I think that's kind of helped us in with first-time home buyers. A lot of times they just need education. Being a homeowner and having a landscape can be scary and daunting. You have this land and you're like, now what do I do with it? So, it's easy for us to help educate them, make them aware of maybe what services they could use, and then just, make sure to remind them that we offer those services and we can be there to help assist them throughout the entire process. So it works well for us, that demographic that we kind of target.
And I imagine a great relationship is very important in your business because you want to keep people long-term. How do you guys go about keeping that relationship fresh and staying in touch with everyone?
Yeah. So again, we do monthly, or not monthly, maybe bi-monthly newsletters that we send out to everybody through email. Again, a lot of it is, tips and education on, topics that are coming out. We spotlight a lot of our employees. So again, they get to understand the people that are servicing their property. And again, we market some of our services that are relevant to them at that time. We do a lot of phone calls. We reach out to people specifically in the summertime when some of our work, is slower. We try and reach out to people and set up consultations and just go out and meet with them on their property and see if there's anything that we can do to help them. So always being accessible is kind of important for us, and then keeping us top of mind for our clients.
I was curious about, you said that you have a plan to implement a lot more video on your website.
Yeah.
What's the strategy that you're using of like what pieces of content to create and where to put them on your site?
Yeah. So, I mean, our end goal is to have a video pretty much on every single page of our website. Like that would be like my goal. You need to have some sort of video. I think it's just more personal. I mean, to have a person on there talking, it also helps with your SEO. So the longer somebody's on a website, the more it actually helps your SEO. So again, the same thing with having more than 2 or 3 pages on your website. If you have enough pages for people to click through and stay on your site longer, that does help with your SEO as well. So it helps your website be more discoverable. But again, beyond just the SEO benefits, I mean, I think having that personal connection of them being able to see put a face to the company name is so important. I've done a lot of our videos just kind of ourselves. We have a green screen. We have some lighting, and we can do some crude videos. I mean, even if you don't have the budget for a professional video production, I mean, starting out, I mean, you can get a green screen and get a phone holder and a ring light. It's really rudimentary, but it works. And sometimes some of those less produced videos come off as more authentic. So I mean, you don't have to have a huge video budget to start. You just have to start with something, and then just put it on there. 30 seconds. 30 seconds to a minute is where we try and stay at for our videos on each page. Have subtitles below, so if they're playing, they don't have to listen to it. But yeah, that's our end goal. So
yeah, video is one of our main services, and we tell people all the time, like, you can do it yourself for a lot of the simple stuff you need. You don't need to have a big thing, but video itself is just so powerful. You'd be crazy not to be using it.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to touch on with SEO, there's such a fine line between super optimized and amazing SEO content and just a website that is horrible for a human to go through. Like, what's your philosophy on keeping it optimized for search engines, but still user friendly and actual information people want to see?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know how much the Google and all them really rely on meta descriptions anymore. I feel like that they may not even be all that relevant. But when you I don't know if you know, back in the day we used to type in the keywords and all the metas for websites. But that's one place. Again, I like to try and hide some of my keywords. So like when we do alt tags for images on the website, we'll do every single image gets an alt tag specific to that city, especially if you have a landing page, that city name or that zip code or something is in an image. I feel like a lot of people leave out the zip code on our websites. If you have a landing page, you have to have the zip code a couple places on it, because if somebody types in lawn care 19460, you want to be able to rank for that zip code, not just the city name. So zip code's important. We do, at the bottom of our landing pages, we have frequently asked questions. It's kind of like an accordion style, so they don't have to view all the answers unless they want to click on a particular question. So frequently asked questions, I think, is important. You can stuff a lot of good keywords in there and make it look natural. And again, just having text. We use a couple web tools to help us, with AI, I guess, create some content that has some keywords, but it still seems natural. It'll do search engine results and kind of write that for us. So there's a lot of online tools that you can use to help you write content for your page that does have keywords, but still very readable and looks natural.
Great. Well, Kirk, thanks so much. That was super actionable tips. Great, short and sweet overview. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Stories from the Top is your guide to successful business development. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find Edge of Cinema on YouTube. Stories from the Top is an Edge of Cinema production, hosted by Matthew Skura and Jeremy Schmidt. To learn more or get in touch, visit edgeofcinema.com/podcast.